Hi, welcome back to the Recovery Daily podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Miller. I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic and stroke survivor. And today we're going to play a game. This is kind of like a thought experiment that's a bit unconventional, but stick with me and we'll see how it goes. But first, before we start our game, I have some house cleaning items. So there are 3 of them. Number 1, I want to remind you of the book of February for the Reads and Recovery program. So the book for February is Dry, a Memoir by Augusten Burroughs. And this memoir provides a raw and often humorous look at Burroughs' own struggle with alcoholism. It's an unflinching, honest account that doesn't shy away from the dark aspects of addiction while also providing moments of hope and clarity. So, it's February 2nd. We got to get started on this. So, Dry, a Memoir. You can find it on Audible. And the second house cleaning item is, before I announce February's challenge, the listeners' challenge. You remember January's was doing the gratefuls. Well, I want to make sure that we set aside the next 24 hours for you to reflect back on what you felt like at the beginning of January before you started your daily gratefuls and how you feel now and compare them. Make a note of it wherever you are jotting down your gratefuls. If you have a grateful buddy, just check in with them, tell them the change that you've experienced and ask them if they've experienced a change. And now you just keep going. Just keep going. On to February's gratefuls. So make sure that you do that. That's the important part, is to recognize the value of doing the gratefuls. And it's only been 30 days, so I don't expect you to just stop doing them. What I'm hoping is that you keep doing them. Okay, and then number 3, just to pile on, what is February's challenge? It is the plank. So those of you who know me know I love a good plank challenge to fill in a month. So we start today. And we're going to start with 20 seconds. And if you don't know what a plank challenge is, you can Google it. Just hit pause on this episode real quick. Google plank challenge, and that's it. So we're going to have 2 tracks this month. You can do the 3-minute track or the 5-minute track. And that just means, how long do you want to be able to do a plank by March 2nd? And yes, we're going through to March 2nd. We're going to bleed into March because February has 28 days. So we're going to, but that's okay. So we can do whatever the hell we want in here, can't we? So pick your poison if you want to go all the way to 3 minutes or to 5 minutes. I'll provide both tracks each day in February. I will announce how long to hold your plank for that day. So again, no matter which track you are planning on, today is still a 20-second plank for all of us. So make sure you squeeze that in. 20 seconds. Come on, you can take 20 seconds of your day and do a plank. This is so easy. This is why I love plank challenges, because there's no excuses. It doesn't take any time to do. Okay, so now I take a breath. Okay, all right. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, we're going to play a game in this episode. So imagine for a moment you have lost everything. I know it doesn't sound like a great game, but stick with me. So we're not focusing on how that happened, how we lost everything. There is no tragic story here that's going to bring us all down. Here's the twist. This is not about the loss. This is about what comes next, the rebirth, the intentional steps we take to rebuild our lives, one piece at a time. So let's play the game of life's priorities, exploring what we choose to add back into our lives in order and why. Get it? Okay, ready to play? There are no wrong answers. So I've put together my list of 10 items in the order of priority that I would add back into my life if I lost everything. Okay, so let's go. Number 1, first things first, my sobriety. I bet you knew I was going to say that. Without a strong foundation, everything else just crumbles. And this means prioritizing my sobriety with meetings, meditation, prayer, and staying connected to my support network. It's the cornerstone of my existence. Without it, no matter what I added next would disappear. I wouldn't be able to hold on to anything if I didn't have my sobriety. So that's number 1. Number 2 is family, reuniting and nurturing the relationships that matter most in my life, and that's my family. My kids, my partner. I'm not going to pick which one of you I get back first. They're always waiting for me to pick which kid I love more. And I'm always telling them I love them exactly the same. So I get both kids back at the exact same time. And then my brother, my sister, my mom and dad, my stepmother, all of the, my family. So these connections give me that sense of belonging and love that without it, I would be hopeless. Number 3, I have learning. Being able to grow is extremely important to me, and it contributes to my overall sense of self-worth. And if you are paying attention, I would be surprised if somebody picked up on this. But these first 3 items just happen to be aligned with my values. And those are health, communication, and learning. So kudos if you figured that out. Number 4, you know what? I doubt anybody cares enough to remember what my values are, but whatever. Okay, number 4. Shelter, a safe, warm, and peaceful space to call my own. It doesn't have to be fancy, although I love fancy, but it doesn't have to be fancy. Just a sanctuary where I can rest and take my naps and reflect and heal. And this space would become my home. Number 5, a passion project. So finding a way to contribute and feel purposeful again, whether that's through a job or a passion project like my podcast. And this will give me fulfillment. Number 6 is physical activity. So reintroducing regular physical activity, whether it's yoga, walking my dogs, or my push-ups, any form of exercise that allows me to release my energy. Because if I don't release my energy, all that negative stuff, we've got problems. I'm like a volcano that's about to erupt. I felt that a little bit today. I was sitting on the couch with my boyfriend and I was like, I am like super antsy. Like I can't stand still. I was like shaking myself because I was like, I just got this energy that I just need to shake out of me. So I clearly did not do enough exercise today. I'll do a couple push-ups before bed. Maybe that'll help me out. And plank. Okay. Number 7, creative outlets. Bringing back creativity into my life, like whether it's painting or writing or sewing. Creativity allows me to process my emotions, to kind of escape, and experience things, what's going on inside me in a constructive way. Number 8 is financial stability. I'm having a hard time putting my words together here. So slowly rebuilding financial stability to ensure a sense of security and independence, I think would be next. Number 9 is some sort of service, community service. So being of service to others because I know that it helps me. And then the last one that I have here is travel. So exploring a new place provides a different perspective on life than if I'm always just here in my house. But even more so, I believe wholeheartedly that if you leave your home, you treasure it more when you come back. So that's why I have travel as the last one. So that's my priority list for rebuilding my life. And this game came to mind today because I was listening to, in my morning sobriety meeting, I was listening to step 3. We were reading about step 3, and I was taking notes like I always do. And it struck me that I was writing down a lot of priorities in my life. And I thought, what if I lost everything? Like, I wasn't thinking about how I lost everything. I think it's because when I was at my psychiatrist appointment, I said to her, I feel like I've lost everything. So I feel like that's been kind of stuck in my craw lately, because I know that's silly in a way. I did not lose everything. There's so much I have. Everything was defined more like everything I like to do, like my job and my hobby, my exercise and all that stuff. So anyway, I'm working on that, but I think that's why I was thinking a lot about that. And then when I was taking notes this morning, I felt like I was writing down a lot of these priorities of mine, things that I hold dear. And I thought, what would I want back first if I lost everything? So there you have it. The game was born, and here we are. So in this game, we prioritized what truly enriches our lives and supports our journey, whether you're in recovery or not. And each of these priorities I've listed represents a building block towards a balanced and fulfilling life for me post-stroke. So think about it. What would your list look like? So if you're driving to work right now, or you're getting ready to go to bed, or whatever it is that you're doing while you listen to this, take some time and think about what your priority list would look like if you had to rebuild your life from scratch. And remember, there's no right or wrong answer, just a reflection of what matters most to you. So thank you for joining me on this thought-provoking episode today. I will talk to you tomorrow.